Boop. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, February the 16th, 2021, the last day of Epiphany. And today's daily Bible readings come to us from Psalm 110, 1 through 4, Job 19, 23 through 27, and then 1 Timothy 3, 14 through 16. And I'm going to kind of look at Job and 1 Timothy together, kind of, sort of, not going into great depth, just talking about an idea. And what inspired me is this line, this great line that we have from Job, where he says, "For I know that my Redeemer lives, and at the last he will stand upon the earth. And after my skin has been thus destroyed, then in my flesh I shall see God, whom I shall see on my side, and my eyes shall behold, and not another." And then he says, "My heart faints within me." So this idea that he knows his Redeemer live, if you've read through the book of Job, you know that he is facing sorrows that very few of us living today, I would think, would expect to survive. Not saying that there aren't people in this world that experience the horrible kind of things that Job does. I'm just saying that very few of us would probably expect to go through that journey as Job has and come out the other end. He's gone through a lot. We know that, right? We talked about that last week. Sorrows that were compounded by his supposed friends, right? Who have come to visit. If you've read the book, you understand that they come to help. And they were doing a great job until they started talking. If they just sat there and kept their mouth shut, it probably would have been a different book. And he talks about, that these sorrows, like we saw last week when we looked at Job, that they're like sands in the sea. He says that in their weight and then their burden, right? We talked about how just like sand, the little pieces of sand don't weigh a whole lot, but when you get a bunch of it together, suddenly it's really burdensome. But yet in the face of it all, in the face of all this, Job still has faith, and it's an enduring faith, that his Redeemer lives, that indeed his Redeemer lives. And then he even makes this kind of cryptic statement, probably more cryptic to those sitting around him, that even in his death, right? He talks about his flesh rotting away, but then he says, even after my skin has gone away and rotted away, that in my flesh I will see God. And so it's this expectation of a renewed life, a restored life, shall we say maybe your resurrection faith, that even in his death, his flesh will see God standing by his side. And it's a pretty scandalous statement. You can go look at the book and see how his friends react to his faith that he will be redeemed. And then we got in Timothy, 1 Timothy here, Paul, and it's kind of this, in case I don't see you, right? He says in case he's delayed, but we all know that Paul went through some stuff, right? Paul, in the face of all the struggles and difficulties that he faced, he takes faith and then encourages Timothy in this faith with this kind of this, as he puts it, this mystery, right? So it's this mystery of mysteries upon which our faith as Christians is built, right? That God revealed himself in the flesh, he was vindicated in spirit, seen by angels, proclaimed among the nations, believed in throughout the world, and then taken up in glory. And so here you have Paul, just like Job, taking faith in this Redeemer, right? This Redeemer, and being able to face all these burdensome things because of these things, because knowing that their Redeemer lives, knowing that this mystery of mysteries, right? And mysteries are things that they're not concrete, they're just, it, but you can't explain it kind of thing. So in the face of it, these are the creeds by which people, Job, Paul, all the apostles, all the believers, that came before you, have faced all sorts of struggles, personal and corporate, by these creeds, by this faith, by this knowledge, and by these mysteries, right? So sometimes, their success was in this life, kind of like Job, right? Spoiler alert, the story ends well for Job. but sometimes it's in the next. And but nevertheless, they stood in the face of it on the faith and mystery of a Redeemer who indeed lives. So, in the face of it, what is the faith, the mystery, the creed upon which you stand? And if you're having a hard time standing by it, maybe you should look deeper into the faith. Anyway, that's the DBR for today. Go forth, have a good day. If you're into cold weather, this day is for you. So have a good one. Boop.